Ethan, if he has 500% brain and
Oh,
only
God.
punch 100% out
How are you going to say 500% brain?
because he's got.
You can't have 500% of anything. Not in that context. You can't do it. That's not how percentages work.
Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
I mean, Jarrett.
And
I was reading, sorry.
Okay, you blanked.
reading. That takes all his brain power.
Yeah.
Well, it was just kind of like, it's like a delay. It's like I'm reading, and then it's like, oh.
And then he registered.
He said it. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm
He
supposed to
goes,
say this.
"Oh shit, we're in a podcast right now."
You can't say yeah on this one.
Yeah, no, I can't.
It's okay. I don't multi-process either.
Yeah.
So on this week's episode, we are going to talk about season 3 of Invincible, which just finished 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I think.
No,
Last week.
the 14th.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
March 14th was
Yeah.
when it finished. Because I remember that's specifically whenever it was going to finish. So to jump right in, if you don't know the story of Invincible, why the fuck are you listening to season 3? A podcast about season 3? I don't know.
We'll go watch it. I mean, if you don't know anything about it, go watch it.
True. That's probably the best thing because we're not spoiler free. So
Yeah.
you're going to hear about what the fuck happens.
Yeah. Stop listening right now. Actually, just turn the volume down.
Pause.
Yeah. Leave it running.
Pause. Come back in about 3 weeks when you finish watching it. Come back. Unpause.
Yeah. So first thing I noticed was Indian Debbie for animation cuts because they have animation cuts this season, and they literally used Debbie's model.
Okay, that's what I
and
was
just
like.
made her brown and put a dot on her forehead.
I was trying to figure out exactly where you were, like, what that referred to. I don't remember that.
Okay, so
That's not where I noticed the animation.
I agree, but it wasn't. It was one that I specifically noticed because I seen her pop up and went, "That's Debbie," and
But that's not that uncommon. Like
it's not.
especially if it's not a character that like is going to show up a lot. They're like, fuck it, we'll just reuse a model.
Yeah.
Color swap it. It'd be fine.
Yeah. And then next up, Multipaul. He showed up.
Yeah,
Which is duplicates, which makes me. I was okay with duplicate.
Yeah, but you don't like multiple.
As soon as they added Multipaul, I hated them both. Like it added a level of hate that I was like, okay, fuck you. Like one of it makes sense. Your siblings. That's your names. Your parents pick those names for you.
Well, not those.
Duplicate is
That's
clever.
what I mean.
Duplicate is clever. Multi-Paul is not clever. It's just multi and Paul.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be multiple.
I know. I get it. It's not as good as Duplicate.
It just angered me.
Yeah.
Also voiced by Simu Liu.
Yeah, so that brings me to this point.
Okay.
Animation versus voice actors. What's more important? Because this show takes the let's pay for our voice actors,
Sure.
not for our animation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll, and we're gonna.
I
I guess I don't really have to roll. We can just talk about
They
it.
were saving it. They were saving the animation
What do you mean?
for the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that, but you could have paid. I'm assuming you could have paid voice actors less, like actual voice actors,
I don't know.
and
Instead
put more
of
animation.
actors that do other things outside of voice acting.
Exactly.
Because voice actors are usually cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes. And
And they do a good job.
a lot of times they do better. I'm not saying anybody in this show did bad. Like everybody did. I thought everybody did well. I know you don't like Seth Rogen.
I do. I don't.
I
Actually, in this show, I think he does a good job.
Yeah, I enjoy it because
honestly,
he's so. It's just his voice, and he's not really like Seth Rogen that much at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds exactly like Seth
Seth
Rogen.
Rogen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's no. It's I'm saying
It
it's just his
sounds like-
voice. He's not. He doesn't have
it
like
fits
the,
the
Seth,
character
yeah.
really
He doesn't
well.
have the Seth Rogen like mannerisms with like his
No.
stupid chuckle and
Yeah,
like all
come
that.
on. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Whereas like Donkey Kong,
So,
that's just that's literally just Seth Rogen
oh yeah.
high in the recording studio.
Yeah.
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 So animation versus voice actors. I seen something that made me question this even more. It was another podcast. Nick, I cannot remember his podcast for the life of me, like the name of it.
Otaku's Anonymous.
I think so.
Yeah.
They were talking about it, and they're like, would it be better to have this amazing cast of actors doing voice acting or for longevity's sake, or would it be better to have better animation with good to okay to good voice actors? Because for longevity's sake, 10 years down the line, if somebody wants to watch this for the first time, are they going to go, oh, that animation really falls off? And it immediately made me think of Seven Deadly Sins, which I know neither of you have watched.
I watched like one episode of it, like started it.
Either way, the early episodes are better. At one point, they switch studios and the animation just drops. So bad so that I quit watching the show. And
I was going to say, it's not just like an Invincible show with like popular voice actors. There's
there's
Blue
a ton
Lock.
of shows. Yeah.
Well,
soccer
and
animated guy.
you could look at the other way of it too. Is that nobody is expecting this to be the best animation that's ever been, and you can pay for the best animation of your time and get something that looks for the time really good. Look at The Hobbit. So at the time, The Hobbit had really good animation.
Yeah, but we also all knew that was gonna like because it's CGI. We knew it was gonna age poorly.
Yeah, it was going to go out on the shitter, right?
Yeah.
So, but because this is like a 100% animated show, it doesn't have that big of an issue. But at the same time, like, we don't have to have really good animation to make a show last. Gargoyles is the opposite issue. Gargoyles animation is dog shit, but it's not Beast Wars.
Yeah.
At the same time, so Gargoyles works great because the story's good, the voice acting's good, the animation's not good.
Yeah.
And it still lives through, and it works to this day. So
I would say but I think most people would expect the quality of animation to stay the same.
yes,
I think that's if it was always shitty, I don't think people would be as upset.
Yeah.
But the first season was really good, like really excellently animated, and then the second and third seasons have seen a noticeable dip in the animation.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, they have Mark, which this makes sense because of the powers, but it's literally just his, like, they animated him once and then just moved it across the screen is what it looks like. Like, he doesn't move at all besides, like, he doesn't move any muscles besides moving himself.
so I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think as long as they maintain the same level of animation,
Exactly.
I think we're fine.
Yeah.
But when
If
you
it
have
just keeps descending like the problem with Seven Deadly Sins, I think that it's just going to be like, well, I'm done watching that.
well, like it's a thing though. Is like if they hear all this criticism now, and season 4 has really good animation, it's just like that'll just make it even worse.
Yeah.
Because everybody like, see, you could have fucking done it the whole time.
Exactly. And that's what I think frustrates me about Invincible is that whenever you see the fights that are like Conquest and Invincible, that's amazingly animated. The stuff that they went through. And it's fairly comic accurate with what they did too. And then you see other things that you're like, man, I get that you're saving money, but I'm seeing all these voice actors that you could have saved money.
It's a lot of like, not Amber, Eve's face. I don't know why, but there's a lot of scenes where she's talking, and it's just like her face just like does something weird. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this animation right now?
Yeah.
There is one animation hiccup that they did that is in the comics that they left, and it's an Easter egg.
What is it?
It's whenever they're doing the Conquest Invincible fight, they lock hands at one point, and they could do like an undershot, and you can see Conquest's face. He only has one eye. Well, in that shot, he has both.
That's fine.
They animated both eyes, and they left it in because in the comics, whoever drew him with two eyes. So that's a neat little thing I seen. Next up, did you think the White Room would actually protect Cecil?
I mean, kind of.
I didn't know. I
bet it will from now on.
I bet it does from now on. Yeah, that's true.
It's just like classic Cecil.
Yeah, I love Walton Goggins.
It's really good, and it turns out, you know what? Fucking Cecil was right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
This whole season is basically like Mark versus Cecil in terms of like an ideology, and then basically it just turns out Cecil was always right.
Yeah.
He may have very ruthless ways of going about it, but he was right.
Knucklebuster and Force Fist. And then I put, did I name these fucking characters? Because they're so stupid. It's the ones that travel back in time to steal the Declaration of Independence.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They should have got Nick Cage to voice one of them. I would have laughed my ass.
Yeah.
I would have died.
Instead, they got the kid from Cobra Kai. And Blue Beetle.
Jolo.
Yeah.
Miranda.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to try to say it.
I know his first name is Jolo.
You go back to the voice actor thing. I don't know why they feel like they have to get these names. It's just like they're just like, I don't know. What are they even trying to do? Why are you trying to do that?
That's why I'm confused.
And they're gonna have to pay these actors more than say voice actors from like any other kid show anime that have ever existed.
Especially like these two characters and like Multi-Paul being voiced by Simu Liu.
Yeah.
It's weird to me because they have so little in this season.
Not in dialogue. They're not even like really that relevant in the comic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
they're going to be blips and like I guess it's a neat little Easter
but I mean,
egg. But
there's tons of voice actors that worked on Marvel and DC animated series that do a great job.
Yeah.
Why aren't we using those?
You could just go to the Critical Role cast and get all
you
of
may
them.
have to pay more for those now.
You would.
Yeah.
Now, but
yeah, especially because they're like, I'm sure they charge more for their time just because.
Well, some of them were really well established beforehand, but some of them aren't, or as famous for it. Like, but you have to pay a lot for Laura Bailey.
Yeah. Then there's Mark's Brainbuster. I don't even remember who he used. It was around the White Room. He hit one of the robots.
Oh.
Because he goes to Robot to say, get this thing out of my fucking head. And then he finally does. And he just like fucking smashes that robot's skull in. And I was like, that's...
The, what the fuck are they called? The goddamn... they got a name.
Yeah, but I
can't remember what it is. It's also some stupid pun, I think.
I think so.
I can't remember.
What is it?
The cyborgs.
Oh.
I can't remember what they're called, but they're like, there is also a stupid pun with their name.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And then the Immortal crashes out on the other Guardians.
Yeah.
Which I don't really remember what the fuck happened.
No.
Obviously, it was important enough for me to write it down.
Correct.
But
The Immortal's just a giant douchebag. So
it's really
that
good.
would have been...
It's right around the time that everybody starts leaving the Guardians because over Mark, essentially.
Because this is like when they reveal like Cecil's an asshole and like half of them leave.
Yeah.
I mean, Rex is the one that kind of
orchestrated that.
That. Yeah.
He's like, fuck this. I'm with Mark.
Well, he's he's like the heart of the whole youth side of it.
Yeah.
He's the heart.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
Yep.
Then we got back to the gang members because I don't remember. I feel like they don't matter, and I don't know to what point they do, if that makes sense.
What gang members?
What are
we talking about? Oh,
yeah.
The mob people.
Yeah, Stone and Machine Head.
Yeah.
I love Machine Head though.
I do. I think,
but that's also just because he's.
Is it Titan or what is it?
Titan.
Is it Titan? I thought
it's
It
Titan.
is Titan.
It's Titan.
Yeah.
Something's.
It's 100% Titan.
Machine Head.
Yeah. And then they fought that dragon.
Who's totally not Fing Fang Foom from Marvel.
That's what I thought.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think they're just there for like it's just stuff for Mark to do.
That's what it feels like.
It feels like filler.
It does.
That was harder to say than it should have been. But
and then Mark and Oliver get new suits.
But it's also an example of who Cecil really is. Though that story.
Which one?
Didn't it? Because it involved Cecil directly. The Titan one.
Yes. Where like Cecil gets sent to prison. Like in the past. Like a mission goes wrong, he gets sent to pass.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. It was supposed to try to be a parallel so you can see how Mark and Cecil deal with a very similar issue very differently.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I like the actor who voices Machine Head because he's Jeffrey Donovan. He was the main character for Burn Notice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But he's like the little fucking voice modulator they have is just like so I don't know. It's like pleasing to my ear.
It does
It's
sound.
good,
It's a good one.
Yeah. Like,
So, do you like Mark's new suit? I mean, Oliver's got a new suit, but he doesn't really fucking matter.
if it's your first suit, it doesn't really count, does it?
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't dislike it. It's just I think it's kind of bland now.
Yeah.
It's just black and blue. It's like, okay, you're black and blue now.
I mean, he stayed black and blue for most of the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I love how they show like nobody was like this
They
one
were
who looks like Invincible.
They were like totally confused when he switched colors. I'm like, yeah, you didn't put out that press release.
Yeah.
They
He
go,
really
"I'm
he
switching
didn't.
my new colors.
That's what happens when you don't rely on Cecil anymore. Cecil would have pushed that shit out immediately. And then somebody says, we're worse than supervillains. We're businessmen. I think that was Titan or Machine Head or
It's
both.
probably Machine Head.
I think so.
That sounds like a Machine Head line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oliver then proceeds to kill the Maulers and then question Mark as to why he's pissed off about it.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, they were going to kill people. You got to kill them.
They fucking did it. Like,
Yeah. And the next one is, and yet Angstrom lives.
I mean, yeah.
I should have fucking put that. I don't know why that didn't, the
Yeah.
name didn't cross over for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's impressive that he lived. I was more so shocked that he could fucking, like, whenever they cut back to
I
how
desperately hate the character design for Angstrom. I desperately hate it. It looks stupid. It looks dumb. It's not clever.
yeah.
There's nothing clever about it. It's just a brain
You got a big brain,
in between two metal bricks.
essentially.
And a face is somehow attached to it, and there's some lights on the side. I don't get it. It don't make sense, and I don't like it. And where did he find the Technomechanicum? And it's to rebuild him. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the multiverse.
They're not on Mars because this is not Warhammer.
And then we go to the future.
Yeah.
Where Immortal is the king.
Yeah, King
Well, it
Immortal.
was. Because,
He gone mad.
Yeah.
He gone crazy.
The Mad King.
and it was, I think Mark was starting to lose his shit a little bit there because of the way Immortal was talking about it. He was like giving him pieces of the future, essentially. It's like, and he's like, what? What the fuck
That's
are you talking about?
He's the emperor. Or the,
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? Huh, what? Huh? Where's Kate? Who's Kate? That one got a chuckle at me. He's like, I've had thousands of wives. They all just blur together.
Yeah.
Who's Kate? Oh, God.
And then we get to go to episode 4, where Invincible does sex scenes right.
Oh, yeah, the
'Cause,
cutaway.
yeah,
'Cause
him
they're
and
like-
Eve. And they're
they're
like,
like getting
the
it- they're getting ready to do
announcer
their-
literally says, and while they do their thing, we're going to go check on Alan.
Yeah. I do like that's like really their only real way to cut to Alan. They're like, fuck it, have two people bone, cut away to Alan.
Yeah.
Well, I really like the narrator in
Because they did that with Mark and
outro.
Amber.
Yeah,
They did
they
that
did.
with Mark and Amber too.
Yeah.
That was whenever we had to check on Alan in the tank, like
Yeah.
being healed the first time. And then that episode almost like ends.
It does.
Like it plays a credit
Yeah.
and then it goes.
It keeps going.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I almost like skipped because I was going to like click. I'm like, oh, I'm going to skip the credits and go to the next episode. And then I hit up to like get my thing up and I went,
There's still 30
I
minutes.
paused because I thought we had moved to an episode, but I didn't see it switch over. So I was like, did I fall asleep? Did I have a stroke? What happened here? And because I remember the credits hitting, and I'm like, I didn't press the button, but I'm holding the remote, and I did the same thing. I was like, what is this?
it's weird.
It was a weird cutaway, but it was also it was good shit.
It was.
Yeah,
good
it
shit.
was. It was.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that it also reintroduces my favorite character,
Alan.
Battle Beast.
He's
Battle
my
Beast,
favorite. Oh,
yeah.
So fucking cool.
that also brings up
more.
brings up my next question. How the fuck did they capture
I'm
him?
not sure. I don't care.
Because I don't know if you know this or not. I think we talked about it whenever we talked about season 2. Battle Beast is like one of the strongest fighters in the universe.
yeah.
He fights Thrag, who is the strongest Viltrumite
Yeah.
during all of this. He fights him without a weapon. Like he has his axe and he just says, I'm not going to use it because I want this to be a fair fight. And Thrag still is like on the brink of death.
Yeah.
He beats Battle Beast, obviously. But
Yeah.
So I'm confused as to how they captured him.
Uh-huh. Maybe he allowed himself to be captured to go kill some Viltrumites.
Maybe that's probably what it was because
I could totally see him doing that. And be like, I want to kill Viltrumites. Let me go get myself captured by.
Yeah, because he did kind of. Whenever Alan let him out, that was like the big thing of, you want to go kill some Viltrumites?
Like, yes.
And he's like, absolutely. And then he kept getting pissed off the more Alan couldn't find out where the fuck he was going. And then I don't even remember who this character was, but
Bender is idiotic and an elephant now.
Is an idiotic elephant. It's supposed to be is an, not and. Sorry.
Like Bender J. Rodriguez from Futurama?
Yes. Because it's the same voice actor.
Oh, so it's John DiMaggio. Okay.
Yeah, it's John DiMaggio.
Yes.
He voiced an elephant. Like there was I can't remember who it was and when it was.
I have no memory of this.
I remember looking it up. I'm like, is that DiMaggio? And I was like, I looked it up. It was DiMaggio. So I do remember that happening.
I just don't remember in what context it is.
I don't remember the elephant in the room, but
Hang on. I'm trying to find a picture of it. He's literally the elephant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's one of the villains that I get it now.
Oliver and
Mark makes Oliver fight him, and he's like, Dad used to make me fight. Mark's like, Dad used to make me fight him all the time.
am I just practice? God.
I do remember. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That makes so much more sense after I looked up the character. Did they have Aaron Paul on a word limit with all the Invincible cuts? Because, he's standing in the middle of the street yelling, I'm not leaving until I get... And it cuts, and it's like, I want to fight.
That was one of the funnier opening title things that they've had, where they kept cutting to it, and I was like, I'm about to have a fucking stroke watching this.
It was good. And then Aaron Paul's character is just another story of why you shouldn't try for revenge. Because you murder your wife and kid.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the whole thing is him blaming Mark for all the problems that he's causing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his niece and sister dying. Okay, kind of on Mark and Omni-Man. Kind of. Like I can get how he could be upset about that. Like that's understandable.
Yeah, but he made his entire family's life about getting revenge on Mark for something that happened years ago.
Yeah.
And
so much so that he got a job with Cecil essentially.
He got a killer fucking job.
Yeah.
And there's like, no, I still got to get revenge. Yeah. Instead of actually living his fucking life.
But also, his wife kind of also a piece of shit too, because she just encourages him.
It's like, tie me up. Tie me up, bro.
Yeah.
Tie us up. It'll work. I swear.
Yeah.
But him
incinerated. I mean, it's
him killing his wife and kid. You're like, oh fuck, and he just turns around and blames on Mark. No, bro, this is not on him. That is all on you.
That's one of those.
But he's at that point. He's so deluded. He's he's gone.
Well, I mean, it was bad enough. I didn't feel that bad for him losing his family.
I was more surprised that they showed the kid as a burnt corpse.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit,
I mean,
we've
been seeing burnt corpses for a while now on TV, but never a kid that I can remember.
There's been, I think, something else came out around this time they killed another kid. I don't remember.
They've been doing that
some
recently.
other show killed another kid and showed it, and I was like, holy fuck.
Well, they can't.
I can't remember what it was, though.
You can't do abortions everywhere now, so it's just throwing it on TV.
Just got to kill them.
This was a post-pregnancy abortion, technically.
Oh, God.
I think the funniest meme I seen about Aaron Paul's character, though, was he's just he can't keep getting away with it guy.
Yes.
The entire fucking show. Because everything is...
that'd be one of my biggest criticisms of Aaron Paul. It's just Jesse.
Aaron Paul?
It's just Jesse. No, because I've watched other things where he's not Jesse. Like you watch him in Westworld, he doesn't have that same tone. Or this is just Jesse from Breaking Bad.
But then again, they may have approached him and been like, "We want it to be Jesse."
Sure. Yeah. I also don't think Aaron Paul's the most has the biggest range as an actor either.
Yeah,
that's true too. But
he doesn't.
Yeah.
The more I watch the show, this again is in line with this whole scene and everything. I wish Mark had more Nolan in him.
We're getting there, bud.
I know, but God, if he would just kill a few people so many problems would be solved.
I mean, he says that at the very end of this season.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But he still doesn't kill the fucking people. Like,
to be fair,
Angstrom, not
dead.
dead.
In his defense, did try to kill Conquest. Thought he did. Not his fault.
You're a fuck.
Because also,
Again,
how the fuck does he live through that? Like, you're like, how your head's
How the fuck does
bisected.
Mark live through half of the shit he lives through?
Huh?
He gets the absolute fuck beat out of him all the time.
Yeah, but Mark's face also has never been like split in two.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like Conquest is at the end of this. You're like, how the
Yeah,
fuck
but
is
he did the same thing to Angstrom, and Angstrom lived.
That's true.
And Angstrom's not Viltrum.
Yeah, he's just a human.
He's just-
Exactly.
With powers.
He did
Yeah.
big brain, which he's got smashed several times now.
That's
Maybe
probably
maybe
how
that's
he
how.
survived, because he had
so
so
much
much brain, it left enough of it there that he could.
That's not how brains work. That's not how it works.
Ethan, if
Maybe-
he has 500% brain and
Oh,
only
God.
punch 100% out
How are you going to say 500% brain?
because he's got
You can't have 500% of anything. Not in that context. You can't do it. That's not how percentages work, which means that you don't have 100%
he got
brain.
5 brains like attached to his head and they punched one off.
Oh, no. God. It's so shit.
It works because they're all
Angstrom's like my
Angstrom.
least favorite part of everything having to do with the show. Angstrom just doesn't make
I like the voice actor Sterling K. Brown. He's
No, it's
awesome.
fine. Yeah, he's good. The character sucks.
I like the thought behind the character. I just don't like the character. Like someone who hates Mark because of a different dimension. But
Yeah, if you
then
think
he
about
goes
it,
to do things that makes no fucking sense.
if you think about it, right? So he teams up with the Invincible that killed his family.
Does he?
Caped. It's Caped Invincible.
Yeah.
To go kill the only good Mark in the multiverse. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, you should be helping him kill the other Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's another thing of his revenge has went so far.
Because
delusion.
this Angstrom is from that world.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
The one that, and so that's why he's so upset, because of the Chicago incident, essentially. Everybody's pissed off about that.
Fucking Chicago.
Yeah. And then again, I was impressed that Angstrom could move after that. And then Movensahawk. That was his name.
Did Angstrom move after that?
He opened up the portal and he had to move his arm to do it. Because it shows him laying there and he almost
It flinches.
yeah. Enough that he opened
and
the
then
portal.
He somehow crawls through it.
It does
brain power. All 18 of them.
He's got a massive brain.
And then
That's cancer.
Huge. Fucking huge.
Huge.
huge. Movensahawk might have been my favorite name that popped up. But Shit Talk Mark, the one that goes in there and beats the fuck out of the Guardians and he's talking shit the whole time, is my favorite.
Sure. He also dies like a bitch.
He does.
Because Rex is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as he said some bullshit to Ray at the I think it was at the beginning of that episode.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, one of them's fucking dying.
Yeah.
Because at this point,
They're
in the
making
comic-
plans.
Well, at this point in the comic, Ray is dead. She doesn't survive the
Oh, really?
season 2 thing where she gets
That's the.
ripped in half or whatever.
Yeah.
She
Is that
doesn't
the one with
survive
the
it.
lizard team?
Yes.
Yeah.
She doesn't survive that in the comics.
Oh, okay. That would have made that far more poignant because I don't
Yes.
think anybody actually died to Lizard Team.
But they
didn't.
But the comic fans liked that character so much that Robert Kirkman basically just said, no, she's not dead.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It basically was if we can bring Rex back from being shot in the head,
Yeah.
we can sew her back together.
Yeah. And then,
And then have her retire so that
Yeah.
we don't have to
Use
go
it.
any farther with her story.
Yeah.
Which is a good idea. Conquest Voice, which is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
fucking round 2, baby.
It's very funny. If I had a nickel for every time Jeffrey
Dean
Morgan,
Stephen Yoon have fought.
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot.
It's weird that it's happened twice. And guess what, bitch? It's going to happen a third time.
Yeah.
We're going to break this tie.
There's a lot of people on the internet that
They were shit talking it.
they don't like him.
I thought he did
I don't know.
fucking awesome.
They don't like Conquest?
They didn't like his voice.
They didn't like his voice. I thought he was
I thought it was
awesome.
fantastic.
I don't know what they were expecting.
They wanted him to have a super deep voice. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan has a pretty deep voice.
Which, don't get me wrong, I also Like
I think they wanted some like Christopher Judge type shit where he's got like this.
Some like Idris Elba, Christopher. Yeah.
well, like Travis.
Willingham.
Yeah, like that was one of my thoughts of like he would be good for it.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a subtle thing that Jeffrey Dean Morgan does where the like quieter parts are so creepy with him.
He sounds like a boomer.
It elevates it. Like it's weird.
Yeah. He is like, because like this is another thing that they changed from comics where they gave this character Conquest a lot more depth into like his insane psychopath nature.
Yeah.
Not just he likes to kill, but he likes to kill.
But he's damaged.
Absolutely.
He's damaged. Yeah.
Fucked up.
One of the quotes I seen was they thought that, speaking of damage, I'm going to go to the next point. He made a heart bubble out of the blood while him and Mark were fighting.
He's almost like in love with fighting. The violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he is. Yeah. 100%.
But it's like not like a romantic love. It's like a sexual thing.
Yeah. It's a raging heart on.
Yeah, because
for the pain.
One of the comments I seen was whenever he leaned down to whisper about being lonely to Mark, somebody put, I thought we were going to get the Anissa scene.
Fair.
I'm so lonely.
And then Oliver comes to help, quote unquote.
Kind of for like a punch.
Yeah. And then I noticed he yelled, big ass beat down coming up, and then got the fucking shit beat out of him. And I was like, you're not wrong, kid.
Yeah, he wasn't wrong.
Then Conquest used Nolan's fatality of just grabbing him by the head and putting him through shit, which was fucking brutal. All them people on the beach. I wonder what supervillain's going to chase down Mark after this because of that.
I was also thinking, I'm like, oh God, we just got through this whole, like, they had the Invincible War where they literally destroyed the every major city on the planet, essentially, from what the news says. And like now they're just going through random ass fucking places. And the when they fly through the beach and like the sonic boom just annihilates all those fucking people. Like, oh my God. Yeah, and then he does do the subway thing with
holding his head.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's not the kind of callback I wanted.
Yeah. After Eve dies, air quotes, and brings herself back and then passes out, she's butt ass naked, and Cecil, who has been probably watching this the whole fucking time, goes, now's a good time to show up.
I wonder if it's almost like he can't keep up with them because they're going so fast, and he had like, I don't know. Like
he can teleport.
No, I mean like the cameras. Like he couldn't see what was going on.
That's a possibility.
That guy who shows up and he's basically just like, well, shit.
He's like, okay, well, we somehow we did it.
Yeah. And then there's
he is in heavy quotations there.
Yeah. And then there's Invincible robots that they're working on, which for some reason I thought was Immortal robots. The first like time I seen it, or like when I seen it, I was like, oh, Immortal robots. And then I went,
that's what they're called, Reanimin.
Yeah.
I told you it's a dumb pun.
But then it made more sense because I was like, why would they have multiple immortal bodies? But then I was like, it's fucking Invincible, you idiot. The leaking plasma clothes after Eve takes Mark's clothes off. Mm-hmm. I've read a little bit about that to try and figure out why. There's two kind of things that say it. One is more believable than the other from what I was reading. So some people are speculating that Eve is pregnant, and so that's got her powers on the fritz. The more believable one is that her powers are on the fritz because she essentially died and had to overuse them. The reason the more believable one is because at some point in the comics she does get pregnant, but she aborts it.
Could be. It's possible that she could be pregnant.
That's the thing. Like, it's not out of the realm of reality.
Yeah.
But one of the arguments against it was that if she was pregnant, it died whenever Conquest threw that shit through her stomach.
Fair. Oh, in the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Damien Darkblood, baby.
Back to the clothes thing. I was thinking that part of that was her clothes that she was taking off. and she wasn't actually wearing anything. She was just wearing whatever matter she had put on herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So
I did like, besides the post-credit scene, I did like that they finally kind of explained why Eve's not the fucking strongest person in the universe.
Yeah. Well,
because by all means, she should be.
She kind of should be. And that was a thing. That was a complaint that a lot of people had was like in all like the, I think they were fighting the two guys from the future.
Yeah.
And they were like, she like that kicked her ass. And they were like, she's fucking so strong in the comics. And like, well, she hasn't gotten to the part where she's unblocked her memory yet.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like the Invincible War episode where like Omni Invincible man, like they just beat the shit out of her in that one too. They're like,
yeah,
it pays off because like she has to unlock that.
Yeah, and it helps to make sense because whenever you are looking at it and you say my powers are controlling atoms, your brain, if you have any logic of it, you go, why the fuck are you not the most powerful thing to exist? But the post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Who do we think you think he's talking about? Conquest?
It could be Conquest. I've also heard people, like the people want it to be Conquest a lot just because that would explain how he breaks out a lot better than just Cecil being a dumb fuck.
I mean, it does
a lot
seem
of people
like Cecil does overestimate shit sometimes.
I seen a comment was like, look, bitch, it's going to be Doc Seismic and you're going to fucking love it. I was like...
I forgot there was a whole fucking Doc Seismic plot in this.
There was where they went to the fucking... Oh, God. And I'm like, please don't let it be Doc Seismic. But this is also completely original. This doesn't have...
That's the post-credit scene?
Mm-hmm. This is another Robert Kirkman thing where this is like a thing he wanted to do in the comics but didn't have the ability to.
So he's adding it.
He's adding it in.
Okay. Interesting.
May pad some runtime here. I don't know.
Maybe. I want to see more of Cannibal Mark.
Oh, we also didn't talk about whenever Battle Beast at the very, very end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's frozen. They find him.
More.
It's also funny because of the way they're shocked whenever they, like, catch him.
It's Battle Beast. We better take him back.
It's not even that. They're, like, looking at him, and he's frozen, and then his lips start moving. Like, his mouth starts moving just enough, and they're like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, he just yells more, and they're like...
His eyes, like, flash open.
Yeah,
like, oh, these guys are fucking dead.
Yeah. So dead.
They didn't even do anything. They saved his life.
There was something else I was going to bring up, but now I can't fucking remember it for the top. Oh.
Fucking gone, bitch.
Do you think they will actually do the Anissa scene?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I don't really want them to, but it's kind of like, I don't know how the fuck we're going to get to the...
Yeah, how are you going to get to that point?
Maybe we can we just, like, not show it and just say she did it? You know what I'm saying?
We cut
away?
I mean, can.
They do the little narrator thing like every other time he has sex.
I mean, you can, but then you also have to have like a explanation later for Mark, which is you can.
Yeah.
Of like, but I don't know. I haven't read the comic, so I don't know if he at some point talks about it at all, or if it's
at some point he tells Eve.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, you can cut from it.
I mean, it's a really important part of his character development.
Yeah, and there's a whole like a kid comes from it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
That's the whole reason she does it.
Yeah.
Is to make another Viltrumite baby.
yeah, because there's less than 50, which is what we learn in this season.
Is it this season? Last season?
No, it was this season.
It was this season.
It was this season because it's after Alan breaks out Omni-Man and they beat the other two Viltrumites.
He tells Alan.
Yeah.
I thought we knew that.
No, because Alan's talking to him and
maybe I knew
he's
that.
like, oh, we better get going.
That's what it was. I knew that.
Yeah. He's like, we better get going before they send any
started.
new Viltrumites.
Omni-Man says, I should tell you something about the biggest secret.
Yeah, he's like, they're not coming. And he's like, they had time to set off alarms. He's like, yeah, but they're not coming. There's less than 50 full-blooded Viltrumites left.
Was it 50 or 15?
50.
50.
50.
Yeah.
50.
I don't know if we ever actually see them all.
No, God,
I
don't think so.
I only know of like 10 or 12
Well,
in the comics.
For the series, Omni-Man's already killed like a handful of them.
4?
4?
No. He killed the 3 that was on.
So 6.
The fucking bug planet.
Thraxia.
Yeah, Thraxia. Yeah. Killed those 3.
And the 3 on
They killed the 2 on the ship.
There's 3.
I think there was only 2.
There's only 2? 2 or 3?
Well, there's 3 technically, but Craig left.
That's Craig left.
Yeah. So
and there was 2 of them whenever Alan and Omni-Man were
Well, that's
escaping.
the 2 that I was talking
Oh,
about
okay.
that he killed. So he's killed 5 true-blooded Viltrumites. There's Optimus Prime.
Well, that's 10%.
Thaddeus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, yeah.
I think it's Thaddeus. He's still alive.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I don't know if they would even count if he counted him because he was in hiding.
He probably doesn't even know. Yeah. So either way, at that point, there's him, Conquest, Craig, Thrag, Anissa.
Omni-Man.
Yeah, I counted him.
Okay.
No, I didn't. 6.
I'll say Nolan.
Yeah.
And Full-Blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which technically, there's a reason why they all, like a bunch of them, go to Earth. It's because apparently
they're so compatible that they're essentially full-blooded.
They're essentially full-blooded.
Yes.
So
we can include Mark.
So essentially Mark counts.
So that's probably like
but
7
not Oliver.
that we know.
Not
well,
Oliver's a Bugman.
Yeah, he's a Thrag.
But the reason that later on, Thrag goes to Thraxa, Thrag, and he makes a fucking army because there's so few of them that he's like, I need an army, and they develop so fast.
Yeah,
and he was like, this will work.
It does work, kind of.
So I think that's really all I got. Do you guys?
Oh yeah. Also, at some point, Oliver's going to turn from purple to white.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Basically, the older he gets, the more the Viltrumite takes over.
Yeah.
Is how they
just like,
justify
I think in a comic, he was just like, I'm tired of fucking drawing in purple.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
the whole Bugman thing does make a lot of sense because he would have not hatched from that egg.
Yeah.
No, he would not have hatched from that egg. He would have been stillborn in that egg because he would have been some confused vertebrate mix. It would have been.
Viltrumite DNA is so strong
that it just fixed any problems.
Just fixed it all.
Yeah, it just punches its way through the rest of the DNA. We're like, nah, bitch.
I like that thought.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the ratings. I
Tyler
don't have the fucking.
Tyler will read them in person.
I did. I wrote that down. I don't have the total for the season because IMDb doesn't do that.
Yeah, once you get past season 1, you can't really tell the difference.
It just gives you the total for it all, which is an 8.7 right now. Episode 1 is an 8.0. Episode 2 is a 9.2. Episode 3 is an 8.5. Episode 4 is a 9.2. Episode 5 is a 7.4. Episode 6 is an 8.8. Episode 7 is a 9.7. And episode 8 is a 9.9. Now, granted, this has only been a week.
Yeah, so it doesn't have time to come down.
It still has 65,000 reviews, though.
That's really good.
At one point, it was rated a 10 with a shitload of views.
Do we need to talk about the IGN review?
The IGN, I don't remember seeing the IGN review.
They gave it a 4.
Out of what?
10.
IGN did?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're stupid.
Because they didn't like. I don't think they liked the moral argument of Cecil and Mark throughout the season. But then they were really upset that Conquest just kind of shows up at the end of episode 7, and he's in there for episode 8. And they're like, "Well, we've never been introduced to him." It's a really dumb argument.
You don't have to be.
It was really
he tells you they sent
dumb.
me because you fucking suck.
Yeah, it was really dumb. It's just more of like, look how far IGN's fallen. This is where we used to get all our good reviews, and now it's just like, this might be up there with Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, Too Much Water. Of like, that's the dumbest fucking excuse I've ever heard.
I'm trying to get the actual.
It's gonna be.
No, they gave it a 7.
I think it was the episode 8 was only a 4 or something like that. Maybe.
Okay, because they gave season 3.
Something got a 4.
They gave season 3 a 7. So that's
it's like what? It's like reading through the Sony Game of the Year awards. It's like, all these are Sony games. Like, they have other ones on the list. Like, these were in the running. but these are the only ones on here that we made, and then they're the best games ever made because we made them.
They gave episode 6 a 9.
That's fine.
Which one's that?
That's the one with Aaron Paul.
Oh,
It's a good episode.
No. That is.
I think it is.
I mean, it is, but I don't think it's the one where he blows up his family.
No, it is. That's all one episode.
Is it?
Yes.
yeah, that's that story of him preparing and then
Yeah, that's all one episode. I guess I thought it was
getting fired.
He comes
and,
back in episode 7. Cecil releases him to help fight the Invincible.
Apparently, that episode was bad enough rated that they took that fucking down.
I bet you they did because it got shit on.
Because on their, like, I've got every IGN review for Invincible,
And
it literally starts at episode 7.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me because it was a real dumb reason. Like it's fine if you don't like it, that's whatever. But your reasoning needs to make sense, and it was real dumb.
If you're going to be doing a review of that scale, yeah, on IGN, yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, I've not trusted Invincible for a hot minute.
What?
IGN.
Yeah.
You said Invincible.
Sorry. I was reading as I was going.
His brain, no brain.
Yeah, true. It really don't.
I was like trying to read most of the game reviews on Steam. Like, you never know what to trust because you get on there and someone puts,
That's the thing.
like they put like a downvote and it's like my bananas were rotten this morning when I woke up.
Dude, no, I've literally,
Like, anybody can put anything. It's such a fucking stretch.
which is fair, but I've seen a review that's like a downvote, like do not recommend, and the guy's like, I love this game.
Yeah.
I'm like, but he has like some arbitrary reason why he won't recommend it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you can just say you like it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you can give it a recommend. Be like, it's not for everybody.
And, like, I've seen the ones where they will downvote it and then talk about how much they've played the game and how much they love it. And they're like, I've played it too much. Like, I've legitimately seen a review that said, I played this game too much. That's why I downvoted.
This game was so good it ruined my life.
Exactly.
Therefore, downvote.
Yeah.
Instead of taking an introspective look at why
It's
you
just,
allowed a game to ruin your life.
Exactly.
yeah. I mean, that's the game's fault, not you.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Well,
Speaking of voting,
Yeah, we got
to do ours. My bad. 3, Jarrett.
I will give it a 9, a flat 9. Probably would have been 9.5 if they had better animation. They get docked a half point.
9.05 or 9.5?
9.5.
Okay, just got to clarify. Ethan.
I give it like an 8.8. I will give it 8.8. It was really good, but there was a couple times where it lost me in there, and Angstrom sucks.
I will give it a 8.9. I agree. Better animation, probably around 9.4, 9.5. And I also agree that there's certain lulls in it that.
Well, especially just not killing people for no fucking reason. Like, you're not fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you've watched that. The more I think about it, the more it angers me.
He's accidentally killed way more people than that. Just put your hand through their chest. Get it over with.
Rip them in half.
You take the head off the shoulders.
Like, you can see, like, when he fights,
Which,
like,
again, had he done that to Conquest, would have solved
he
the
did
problem.
it to Immortal.
when he, like, fights Multi-Paul.
That was a different Mark, wasn't
and
it?
he just allows himself to, like, go fucking full ham. He's just, like, ripping people to shreds.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you could just do this to everybody, bud.
And the Reanimant.
And they're, but yeah, they're not really people.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but still. Either way.
That's
like,
why the Reanimant are there, really, honestly. Yeah. It's to keep the rating what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he can just rip those apart and be like, they're not real people. Well, they're not real alive people.
Yeah, that's what I said, they don't count.
They're real.
Can you murder a corpse?
Fair enough.
Exactly. You can't.
Can
It's
you
already
murder
dead.
a corpse?
Yeah.
They've already been dead.
Exactly.
So can you redead them?
Yeah.
No.
Who's to say?
Well, technically. Mark redeaded a lot of them.
Redeadening.
The redeadening.
The redeadening.
No, he just unanimated them.
Unreanimated.
Unreanimated them. Or reanimated
Well,
them.
now they're going to be the in reanimate. in reanimate.
Well, why do they have to be reanimated? Why can't we have Rihanna women?
Because Mark's a man.
Well, that would be the
Invincible ones, yeah.
Invincible ones.
I'm assuming, I don't know.
Are the regular human ones just called Reanimen too?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, then why can't we have Reanimen? I mean, how do they procreate?
It's just men for human.
How do they get new ones?
Humans. They dig up more corpses.
That's fair.
I think they get them fairly fresh.
That's essentially what Cecil implies. He just uses any corpse.
That's what Cecil implies.
Yeah.
Cecil implies a lot of shit that he does opposite.
Well, I mean, it's like, oh, you were a GDA security guy that had a family and you're on a government pension. Nope, we're taking your body.
Yeah.
We'll give them a fake body that they can bury, but we're taking your body.
Absolutely. He does some sketchy shit.
Yeah, he's sketchy. Sketchy as fuck.
Who's your favorite character in the show?
That's hard to pick. Like,
I don't mind. I can tell you what mine is. The guy with glasses that works with Cecil.
Oh, Don.
Don. Yeah, he's my favorite.
he's pretty good.
That's what I was made for.
Yeah.
Goes out there, gets half of his body ripped apart. It's fine. Pulls out the rubble, no more legs.
I don't think I have a favorite.
It's like, I love Battle Beast, but he's not really a character.
That's what I mean. Like, Battle Beast is
here.
It's not Rex. I would have thought you'd like Rex.
I do like.
He's not a character anymore, so it's
Yeah.
it's
But
okay.
he was.
In this house, Rex is a fucking hero.
Yeah.
Rex
I would
is
say,
a hero.
yeah, for the first 3 seasons, it's
Well,
probably
he was kind of a douche to
totality
start off with.
Rex.
Yeah.
I think very much after, basically when he gets cuckolded by Immortal, you're like, oh no, I like Rex now.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I feel bad for him.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody that I have as a favorite. Like Nolan's inner turmoil between what he's supposed to be doing as a soldier and what he wants to do as a man.
But also,
I kinda like
we
that.
just don't see them again. It's in post like episode 4.
Yeah.
I was really expecting them to come back around. Like,
Yeah.
something.
Like at the end, the very end of the last
Something,
episode, been like,
It's like give us
Have him talking to Optimus.
Yeah, give us a tease.
Something. But yeah, I like Alan. I like most of the characters.
Yeah, they're all enjoyable.
I think the only one I haven't liked is Amber.
Yeah, but even that's like,
well, her name is Amber.
she's much better than she is in the comics, where she's like, completely unlikable in the comics.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to like her. You're supposed to like Eve, and you're not supposed to like her.
Yeah.
And this, you're like, I can understand her viewpoint at least.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, like, look, they're cool at least. Like,
Let's go.
Her and Mark are cool. They're not like those type of exes that are like toxic and shitty to each other. Like, yeah, it just didn't work. We're cool.
Oh, there's my ex superhero douchebag.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Either that or like his best friend.
You don't like
The
William?
game. I really like. I really like.
You do like
I
William.
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. William's good.
Sassy.
Got some quirky one-liners.
Yeah, he's sassy.
All right.
Sassy gay man.
Well, that will
I
wrap
love
up.
those.
That will wrap up this episode. Use the link in the description and go to our Discord and tell us your favorite sassy gay man.
Yeah.
And we will catch you on the next one.
Outside of Tyler.
Dude.
Rude.